Yeah, and one thing you mentioned, I think it's really possibly a lot of audience can relate, is moms tend to sacrifice a lot of themselves, kind of burning themselves to shine light to the whole family, and sometimes even being very proud of that. I think I appreciate a lot of moms, a lot of our therapists are moms as well. I think they're doing hard work, especially during the pandemic. It's really difficult. But I also feel bad for a lot of moms that they don't prioritize themselves, or they don't have the time, energy to prioritize their own mental health, their own physical health. So I'm really curious to hear what you all think about that, how you encourage moms to make changes in that.
So I think one thing that we really try to teach our clients is that it doesn't have to be this ordeal of spending, 2 hours at the gym and, hours on end in the kitchen making food. We really try and we really teach our women how you can get a quick and effective workout in that will help you build muscle and continue to burn that fat even after your workout is over. And then in turn, we have modules associated with our one-to-one. So we're not just telling them, eat this, do that, work out. We're teaching them the why behind it. And I think if you can really understand the how and the why something is being told to you or taught to you, then you can really understand. So we're like, eat more protein. Okay, but like why? Like why should I eat more protein? And it's, protein builds muscle, muscle burns fat, protein helps you feel full, all these things that they learn and they're like, "Oh, I never knew that." And so many of them come to us just like, Ashley said, and like you said, they're moms that a lot of them have young kids and they don't know what to do, but they know they're not happy with themselves. And so teaching them how to carve out just a little bit of time, and it will make you a better person. It'll make you a better mom. I know for me, it's once you figure out how to incorporate that in, you just make an appointment for yourself. Like Ashley and I were saying last week, you wouldn't just cancel your hair appointment and not reschedule it. So make an appointment for yourself. And if for some reason you have to miss it, change it and do it later. So really just working out smarter, cooking smarter, but not necessarily longer and harder, just smarter.
Right. We are very big on small changes over time for long-term success and sustainability. And like Christy said, like scheduling those appointments for yourself, that's so important. But it also doesn't have to be a long, drawn out workout. It doesn't have to be 6 days a week. You could have so much success in showing up for yourself 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week, as long as you show up consistently and you make yourself a priority. And I think, so what we typically do with our one-on-one clients is we start small. We see what they're we assess. We're really big. Assess, figure out what they're currently doing and what small changes we can make from there so that they don't feel like, overnight they're having to make all of these crazy changes and turn their world upside down. Because once you do that, that's just not sustainable. So it really is just like bite-sized pieces that they can incorporate each week in order to over time make some big changes and have success.
Wow, that sounds really good. That sounds like I think I can imagine that's a big barrier for a lot of moms, women in general, right? How I'm busy enough, how I can add one more thing on my to-do list, and I have to possibly move some other things around. And I noticed a lot of young professionals as well, women who keep on like pushing their self time for other things. If they make an appointment with themselves, they feel like, oh, I missed out on work or family times, and later I have to squeeze in more. So they never really rearrange things. They just keep on piling things up, and feels like this self-care thing is extra. It take away my other energy and time.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things too that I love to work with on my clients on top of the nutrition and exercise is making sure they do take time to self-care and do things that fill up their cup, because one of the biggest things is you can't pour from an empty cup. And I tell my clients that all the time, that when our cup becomes empty, we can no longer pour into our family, our kids, our own health and fitness, our own journey. We need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves first. And whether that means, just going for a walk at the evening by yourself, taking a bath, watching a show you like to watch by yourself. Just as moms, we pour so much into our kids and our families that often we put ourselves on the back burner. So really just taking that time every day, every week, whatever it looks like, to make sure you are pouring back into yourself, filling your own cup back up so that you can pour into, your family, your kids, your life. And yeah.
I love that Michelle said that, because I think so many of our clients think if I add another thing, it's just going to take away from everything else. But by adding something that is, like Michelle said, filling your cup, it's like, so when my sister and I first got started, and the whole reason we even started the Lavender Lifestyle, we had three kids. We had both had, like, I think a month old, or no, they had to have been at least 8 weeks old, because we were starting to work out again. And we felt that way. We just felt so overwhelmed. We felt so exhausted, and we were just like barely showing up for our family. And we looked at each other and we're like, how did we get here? I mean, we were college athletes. Like, we used to have all this energy. We used to move all the time. And now we're just exhausted. How did we get here? So we decided we were going to commit to just 10 minutes a day. That's where we started, so that we could get past that overwhelm. 10 minutes a day, working out 3 days a week. We held each other accountable. We started our Instagram page, and that's like really how the Lavender Lifestyle came about. And just by showing up for ourselves just 3 days a week, 10 minutes a day, we found ourselves having more energy. We were showing up better for our family. And so that self-care, that pouring into yourself, actually creates more energy. It makes you feel like you have more time. And so it is so valuable. And so by us putting ourselves on the back burner, not showing up for ourselves, thinking there's no time for me, I'll get there one day, we're really hurting everybody else in our life, because we're not showing up as our best version of ourselves. And so for you ladies out there who are listening, who think that it's selfish to take care of yourself, I'm telling you, it is like the best thing you could do for the people in your life, because you're going to be so much happier, and you're going to be so much more energetic, and you're going to show up as like a way better version of yourself than what you're showing up as now. So do not hesitate to put yourself first. It's so important.
Oh, I love that. I already imagine a grumpy mom, right? And gonna be hard for everyone, for your children, for your family members, for the marriage life, family life. That definitely take a toll. I see a lot of couples for couple counseling also, when the mom is really irritable all the time, lack of sleep and angry and anxious, it's definitely cause a lot of extra stress on top of everything. And when you're talking all this, like, it's not an add-on your list. So I have this image that it's based on what Michelle says, a glass full of, let's say, rocks. If every big thing in your life is rocks, like you have to take care of children, you have to cook, you have to work, all those things are big rocks, but you still have a lot of space to pour in water, right? So sounds like finding time for self-care, finding time, even baby steps, 10 minutes, small chunk of time to do some exercise, do something good for yourself, nurturing yourself. It's like the water. You can fill it in, and it actually makes the cup even better, makes the rocks possibly move around smoother.
I love that analogy, and I'm totally going to steal that and use it, because I think that really paints a picture. Because, and I want to say, we tell our clients this all the time, there are 168 hours in a week, right? With our program, we say show up for workouts 2.5 hours out of those 168 hours. That's like 1.5% of your week. That is so little. And you can fit it in, like you said, like the water going around the rocks. You can fit it in however it fits in around your lifestyle, right? And then we always say, hey, like, take an hour a week just to prep, to have some healthy foods that you can reach, like prep foods. So you can have some healthy options you can reach for when you're hungry. and maybe spend an hour doing that, that's 2.5 hours out of your 168 hours in a week. That is 2% of your week. So there are things in your life, there are spaces in your day, I'm sure, where you can fit these things in. You just have to take a step back and look and think, okay, where can I fit it in? And maybe there's things that you're doing that shouldn't be a priority, and self-care should come above that. And so how can we rearrange our day so that we can fit this in? And it is totally doable. You just kind of have to do a time audit. Sometimes I even tell my clients, let's do a time audit, because you think you're so busy, but if we take a look at where you're spending your time, I guarantee we can find 2.5 to 3.5 hours in a week where you can fit all of this stuff in. And so when you look at it that way, you're like, ooh, yeah, maybe I'm just not making it a priority.
So how we prioritize our time, how we think about things, can decide later how we really take actions, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. So then I'm curious about more detailed things. Is that really doable for us to take care of ourselves or do exercise for this little bit of time each day? Can it really do anything for ourselves? Can it really help us improve anything?
Taking this time, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, for this like little bit time, right? If the whole week we only take 2.5 hours, that's like less than 30 minutes each day.
Absolutely.
And can we really achieve something? Can we really be healthier, happier, and improve our life quality by this tiny bit of exercise or self-care or anything?
Not to put you on the spot, Christy, but I feel like Christy could answer this one, just because I know like where she came from before she joined our program, and like how much time and energy she thought she had to put into it. And then when she started our program. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I've always worked out, before kids worked out, after kids worked out. And before I came to the program, oops, sorry. I don't know what happened there. My iPad blanked. Before I came to the program, I was running, and I was running miles on miles on miles every day, much more than 30 minutes a day. I was running, I was trying to do like intermittent fasting. I was just kind of a hot mess. And so when I came to the program and I saw these workouts were like 30 minutes or less, I'm like, I was very skeptical. But I was like, clearly what I'm doing is not working. So I need to try something else. You don't be too proud to admit when what you're doing isn't working. And so I started doing these workouts. And again, it's learning how to work out smarter and boosting your metabolism through building muscle and fueling your body properly. So I went from eating about 12 to 1300 calories a day, very low on protein, lots of artificial this, artificial that, low fat this, to eating around 1900 calories, and boosting my protein up and eating much more whole natural foods. And just the improvement, not only of how I felt, which was like, wow, you feel so good when you're not putting those things in your body. And it was small changes over time. It wasn't like a flip of a switch and everything was, different, but over time, learning to reach for more whole natural foods, doing the workouts, and just the transformation I saw in myself, physically and emotionally and mentally, was just night and day. And I think when you think, oh, it's less than 30 minutes a day, but when you are truly pushing yourself and challenging yourself in those workouts and fueling your body properly, it just works in harmony and you just get the results. And so that's what I always tell my clients. I said, if you do the program, if you commit to yourself for that time, and you are true to yourself and true with what you're fueling your body with, then you will get results. You can't go like completely, just not doing anything and not eating properly. But that's why it's all together. And the fitness and nutrition piece just really feed off each other. So, yeah, I mean, I feel better than I ever have. I look better than I ever have. And it's really neat to see women start to see those results for themselves. So like, I had no idea. I mean, I had a lady who was doing, before she came to us, she was doing like 5 fitness classes a week at a gym. And so she was gone, from her house for like 2 hours every day. And she's like, I just don't. And I was like, well, you're going to have more time now because you're not going to be at the gym for 2 hours. So, yeah, I think if again, it's working smarter and pushing yourself, but not, it's amazing what can happen in a small amount of time when you really give it your all. So,
Wow. Yeah.
And show up consistently. I think that's another huge thing too, is not quitting. And I think so many women, when they're doing something on their own, or it is that consistency piece that's not happening. Like they'll either stop short because they think they're not seeing changes, or they'll stop short because they don't want to show up anymore. And it's like, if you can just be consistent, if you can consistently show up 5 days a week for 30 minutes, it's insane what can happen. And I think so many women get into it for the physique changes. They want to see changes, but throughout, showing up consistently for themselves, incorporating that self-care, it becomes so much more. And it's amazing. Like I have chills right now, but it's amazing to watch our clients like transform inside as well as outside. And they become more confident. They become happier. It's almost like they have purpose because they're doing things, and not that they didn't before, but it's just different. It's just a more confident purpose, I guess. And it's just really cool to watch.
Wow. I feel like it's so similar to what we do in sleep, even though it's different aspect, but improving our life quality, right? For sleep, I always tell people you need to be consistent. Also, if you have a certain way, we adjust your schedule, then stick to it from Monday to Sunday. And also this working smart piece, I totally agree. When we treat sleep disorders, we also try to educate people a lot behind why. You have to understand the science, the knowledge, like how your body works. I guess how your body works physically, through exercise, through diet, but also how your body works through sleep. And after knowing all that, you really turn those motivation from external motivation to internal motivation. And with small gains in the process, with some guidance you guys provided, I'm sure people are like, wow, I got, feedback. I got great results. So I'm more eager to try.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why we do progress pictures every 4 weeks, progress pictures and measurements, because we say, scale is not a good representation of progress. And a lot of women will think, oh, I'm not making progress. But if they see their pictures side by side, or they take their measurements, they're going to see, oh my gosh, I am making progress. Like I've already lost however many inches, or look at the change in the way my body looks. And we don't want them to focus on the physique changes, but we do want to give some motivation. So we want them to see it's working. You're showing up and it's working. They also do help us if for some reason they're not making progress. We can see that. And then we'll take a look at like, hey, are we really showing up? Or and we might have to start making some tweaks to the program as well if they're not making progress. And a lot of times we do see if women aren't making progress, it's a lack of sleep, it's digestion, it's and there are things that we'll really dive into, like cortisol levels and what could be causing these elevated cortisol levels. And so it really helps us to understand what's happening with these ladies. But I also love that you said the motivational piece, knowing the why behind what you're doing. If you don't believe in something, you're really not going to show up and give it your all. And like you were talking about with your sleep training, if they don't believe in it, they're not really going to commit. And so you're right, that gives them motivation as well. When we educate our clients on exactly what is happening when they're following our protocols, then they're like, oh, okay, I get it. I'll do that. So it is, education is so important, and it empowers them moving forward to be able to do it on their own and not need guidance and help forever.
Yeah, I like the empowerment piece. And I also noticed something you mentioned is the gap between their perception and the reality, right? So I think this kind of progress, this kind of evidence side to side, okay, look, you have achieved so much. I feel like for a lot of moms, they really have high expectations for themselves and tend to look at the what's not going well, sometimes really don't give self enough credit. So there are a lot of misperceptions about the achievement.
Yeah, I would say for moms, for definitely, it all comes. A lot of it comes down to mindset, and we preach that a lot with our clients too. It's not just nutrition and exercise. Like I think Joss always says, 80% of it is mindset, and having that mindset that hey, I can do this, or I am able to do this, or look how much I am doing, look how much progress I have made, versus always looking at the negative. And again, something we work on with our clients and part of their check-in process is, going over mindset stuff and, sending us affirmations every day. And I think affirmations are a huge thing for your mindset and definitely help boost, positivity, kind of change those negative thoughts more into positive thoughts, which I think also help in your transformation and your journey immensely.
Yes, definitely. I think a lot of our clients will show up with the idea that they're lacking, they're doing something wrong. And so the focus can be heavily on the negative, very heavy on the negative. And we are big on like thought switching. What you perceive is kind of your reality. So if we can take a look at all of the positives of your body and what your body's able to do for you, or the fact that you may hate working out when you get started, but the fact that your body is able to move is a gift. And so let's focus on that. Let's focus on the gift of movement. And then just by switching your mindset to those positives, it really can change the way you're feeling about your day. It can change the way you're feeling about your body, about yourself. And it can be so valuable. And so we really work on that with our clients.
Great. So I'm wondering, for people who are thinking about trying, for people who are thinking about making changes, or when they realize, oh, what I was doing before did not really work, is there any small tips or suggestions to help moms to get started, or anything they should consider start changing?
So, as you know, we have the fitness aspect, we have the mindset aspect, and we have the nutrition aspect. And so implementing those positive affirmations daily. So just wake up in the morning, take 5 minutes and jot down things that you love about yourself. So you can start focusing on those positives. And then just start to move your body. If you're brand new to it, move for 30 or 10 minutes starting out and build on that. To the point where you can be working out 4 to 5 days a week for 30 minutes, but start small. Do not make yourself think that it has to be like this huge drastic change. We talk all the time about progress over perfection. So as long as you're making progress on, how much you show up, you're gonna feel it and you're gonna notice it in your life. It's going to be valuable. So we have a ton of free resources on our Instagram and on our blog. So we have free workouts posted all the time. And so just find a workout and just get started. And then on the nutrition side, we suggest eating every 3 to 4 hours and try to choose whole natural foods over processed foods and reach for protein at every meal and snack. And that's a really good starting point. And that is kind of a lot. We don't usually even give our clients that much to focus on in the first week. But I think if you get to the point where you're doing all of that, then you're really going to be on track for a healthier lifestyle.
Wow, this is great. So after talking to you guys, make me really want to try your program. But I'm not a mom. Is your programs only for moms or it's for all women?
So it is not only for moms, it can apply to all women, all busy women, all women are busy. We're busy. It's just really, so we market it to moms because that when we started our Instagram page, the majority of the women that were following us and on the journey with us were moms. And so we just really tailored this program to moms. That's what we talk about, right? But we've had so many women who are not moms do our program and excel and succeed. And they're in the middle of this community and they love it. And that's another thing, is community is everything, you guys. And so if you can surround yourself with like-minded women going for the same goals, you cannot fail. They will lift you up. They will hold you accountable. They'll be right alongside you. So get submerged in a community. We would love to have you submerged in ours. We offer free workouts and all of those good things, like live workouts. And then obviously on our Instagram page as well. But these women interact, they get to know each other and they interact with each other through our community and they build each other up. And I think that's so important. So community is everything. Just find yourself a community.
Yeah, we need social support for everything, especially exercise, especially self-care, knowing and have some role models all around. Everyone's doing their own thing. We can be inspired. So that sounds really good. I know a lot of friends around me, including myself, are looking for personal trainers, looking for good coaching programs. I think COVID, like last year, really helped us to start focusing on self-care more, to think about how to take care of self better, and now very inactive when we work from home. How can be more active, how to be healthier. Yeah. So that's wonderful. If any of our audience are interested in your program, in the services you are offering, how can they find you? What's the best way?
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. Well, first of all, I do want to say any of our programs can be done from anywhere. So you do not have to live local to us. We do everything online and through an app. So it's very, very doable from anywhere. You can get a hold of us through Instagram. We're very active on Instagram at _Lavender_Lifestyle, or on our website, thelavenderlifestyle.com. And if you guys are listening to this podcast and you are on Instagram, please shoot us a DM. We would love to hear from you. We love to connect with our community. We love to connect with women. So reach out, shoot us a DM. Or if you're not on Instagram, through our website, you can get our email. You can get us on email. Shoot us an email. We'd love to connect. And if you have any questions, we're always here to answer any questions that you have. So don't hesitate to ask, whether it's just about your own personal journey or about any of our programs. We love to help. So.
Wow, wonderful. Sounds like a very warm, supported program and community.
I hope that women feel that way, because it really truly is a passion. All of us, Christy, Michelle, Jocelyn, we love just helping women get to that healthiest and most confident version of themselves. And so we pinch ourselves daily that we get to do this. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I always tell my friends that women, we need to treat ourselves better.
Yes. For sure.
Yeah. And a big part of that is how to keep on empowering ourselves, appreciate ourselves. We don't have to find those things from outside, from a husband or friend or a partner. We can provide those to ourselves first. And seems like what you guys are doing, really empowering a lot of women.
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot.
That's wonderful. Any last wisdom you want to share with our audience at the end of the show?
I would say just give yourself some grace. Life is busy. We're all showing up and doing our best. Give yourself some grace and take those baby steps. Small changes over time equal long-term success and sustainability. And you can apply that to any aspect of life, no matter what you're doing. And so give yourself grace and take it one step at a time. I think the biggest thing is get started. Whatever it is that you want to do, don't delay. Get started. There's never going to be a good time. And if you get started and take those small steps, starting kind of creates momentum and motivation, and it's amazing what you can achieve. And so don't doubt yourself and give yourself some grace and just start. Anything else, Michelle and Christy, anything to add to that?
I would just say I love the 5-minute rule. I use it with my clients. I used it with myself this morning because I did not want to get up and work out. But, in regards to starting, start, go do, do your workout for 5 minutes, start cooking healthy food. And even if it's just 5 minutes of being in the kitchen, and if after 5 minutes you still want to quit, then quit. But still, then you got something. Something is better than nothing. And 99% of the time, if you start it for 5 minutes, you're going to keep going. So this morning I got out of bed, I started my workout. I didn't want to be there, but I did it. And 5 minutes in, I was like, what's 25 more minutes? Like, I'm just going to keep going. So, just and give yourself grace. And sometimes you might want to stop, and that's okay. But always, I think we're capable of more than we give ourselves credit for. And so if you just every day, just try it, and you'll get stronger and better, and you'll just be a better person all around because of taking care of yourself. So.
And then, yeah, my biggest thing too, we all started somewhere. We all had a starting point at some point. So just getting started, as they said, giving yourself grace. I also love going by the 5-minute rule as well. And just something is better than nothing, just doing something every day for yourself, to better yourself, to get yourself to that best, healthiest version of you is most important. So we all had a starting point. We all started somewhere. So just get started and take it day by day. And something is always better than nothing.
Yes, for sure.
Wonderful. I got so inspired by you already. I plan to follow your Instagram immediately and find out those, check out what the information are there. And after recording, I'm going to go to cook a nice breakfast for myself and start the 5 minutes workout. I'll see how far I can go.
Perfect. We love it. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. This is wonderful. I think you really help inspire possibly a lot of our audience.
Thank you so much for having us. It was so great to be here, and I'm super excited to offer you as a resource to our clients as well. So this will be great. Thank you.
Yes, the same here. We will I will recommend you guys your program to my friends, my clients who need it, and I'm possibly going to try your program myself too.
Yay! Sounds good.
Great. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. So nice to have you. Maybe get you guys back in the future.
Awesome. We would love it.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.